Alright, what's going on, guys? Roger Rabbit Showdown here. I have a post-com here because when I actually recorded this live, I was using the wrong microphone and it sounded like absolute ass, so I decided not to use it and do this game just as a post-com instead because it was a pretty good game. There's really not going to be any team preview since I really can't because it's a post-com, but I got Landorus, Bisharp, Bulky Gyarados, Tyranitar, Chocolberry Tyranitar, Rotom Wash, and Latios. I think that's it. I hope I didn't repeat myself. Anyway, so we'll get into the battle here. Okay, yeah, there you go. See my team for a second there. Alright, so he leads Rotom Wash. I lead Gyarados. Now I thought he was just going to Volt Switch or do whatever he does. So I go into Latios, which is relatively a safe switch in. He goes for the Will-O-Wisp, which I don't really mind about, except for I'm going to get a lot of residual damage because of Life Orb. Now, I actually carry Energy Ball on this Latios. Swagaliff recommended it to me. It's proved to be very good. Surprises Rotom Washes. So as you can see, the residuals kind of racking up there. I actually stay in here and go for the Psyshock just to get some damage on this thing because it might prove to be an issue later in the game. He just ends up killing me, which isn't a big deal. I didn't really need it that badly. Now, I go into Bisharp. Now, I think he might just go for a Hyper Voice, so I didn't really want to sub. Now, I see Protect. Now, I think he's going to want to switch out. So I decide to go for a substitute on the switch out, and he goes into his Hippowdon. Now, this thing is going to prove to be a problem for a lot of the game for Bisharp. I can't really do anything to it, and he's just going to go for EQs to break my sub. So I don't really want to stay in here. I thought about staying in maybe, just in case he wants to go for rocks, but I decided not to. It's not worth the risk killing the Bisharp off. So I go into Landorus, which was a safe switch in my opinion, unless he had Ice Fang. So I really wanted to scout for Ice Fang here. So I go into Rotom Wash, and he switches that, which tells me that he probably doesn't carry the Ice Fang. Now it's kind of a Rotom v Rotom matchup here. I predict him to Volt Switch, so I go for the Will-O-Wisp. He actually goes for the Will-O-Wisp of his own. I'm on the other side, by the way, if you couldn't tell. So right here, I thought he'd Volt Switch again, so we kind of both go for the double Willow here, which I thought was pretty funny. And then, now we're both getting tired of double Willowing, and since he's been going first, I decide that I'm going to Volt Switch, because there's really no point in me staying in anymore if he's going for first, and I can just Volt Switch on out and basically get a free switch. So going to Bisharp here, this had this situation so many times, so I know 99% of people are going to try to Will-O-Wisp me, so I go for the substitute. Since I'm running Speed Investment, and I assumed he wasn't running any, I decided to go for the substitute, which proved to be a good play. I go for the Sucker Punch here, because my other attacking move is Iron Head, which isn't going to do shit to a Rotom. He goes for a Discharge, and does not die to Burn. So he's going to switch out and go into Hippowdon, which is basically a safe switch in for this. I go for the Iron Head since I know I'm going to outspeed. Sorry. And there was no point in really going for a Sucker Punch in case he did want to switch out. So right here, he's going to reveal the Rock Slide. It really wouldn't have done that much damage anyway, so I don't think it was really a big deal that he missed. Now right here I go for the Sludge Wave because I didn't think he'd want to stay in on my Landorus, just in case he goes into Latios. Now right here he's going to go into Greninja, which is kind of a problem for this team. But I go into Bulky Gyarados, which kind of takes a crit Hydro Pump from this thing right now, but not very well. I can live another, however, but I really can't do anything back. Now he makes a good play here and goes for another Hydro Pump to resist my Waterfall that I was going to go for. I really thought he'd Ice Beam or Dark Pulse, which would not be resisted and would have taken out the Greninja most likely. Now right here he makes a good play and goes for the Dark Pulse. Maybe thinking that he could live a Sucker Punch from my Bisharp, but from past experience I know it can't live a Sucker Punch from that range. It does about 71% at +2, so it'd be like 26-ish percent. So that was, you know, all good. I mean, not 26, 36-ish. So yeah, that wasn't living. So yeah, I go into my Landorus on the Hippowdon, which throughout this game I've learned is a very safe switch in for Hippowdon. Can't really do anything. Right here I go for another Sludge Wave, predicting him to go into Latios. This Latios-Landorus matchup is kind of going to be a recurring thing this game. Right here he drops a Draco on Bisharp's face, which Bisharp does not like very much. He's also running a Life Orb Latios. Now right here I decided to go for the Sucker Punch, I believe, because I really didn't want to risk Latios staying alive, because that was a big problem for most of my team. Now right here I just go into Rotom Washed, kind of sacking it. He ends up going for a Fire Punch, which is interesting. I resist that, but the burn is gonna take me out there. If I didn't die to burn, I could have gotten a rest off with Resto Chesto, but that didn't happen. Now right here, I go for an Earth Power because I really wanted to take this thing out, but he actually makes a good play here and goes into his, his Latios. Now right here I kind of sack off Bisharp, and since he's at -2 now, I know Tyranitar can easily take anything from this Latios. So he's just going to stay in and go for another Draco, but that's not going to do anything to my specially defensive Tyranitar. So I just go for the Pursuit and knock it out. Now, I believe he goes into his Aggron, and I thought, and I didn't think he was going to go for the Earthquake, but he does end up doing it, which probably wouldn't have taken out my Tyranitar, but I had a perfectly safe switch in, and Landorus just OHKO'd a Mega Aggron from full with a super effective move. And the guy that I was playing was kind of surprised by this. He put some stuff in the chat. He goes, "What? Sandforce?" ? And I didn't really respond because I didn't want to reveal what my whole thing was. And now right there, that Hydro Pump, I'm going to pause this for a second. That Hydro Pump, if he hit that, he probably would have won this game. But he missed it. I kind of had to risk it. There was no other thing. I wasn't staying in with Landorus. So, I mean, he just missed it. And that won me the game, basically, because now Landorus really cleans up his entire team. Moving on. And then he's like, "The hell one hits Mega Aggron?" And I'm just like, yeah, Landorus, the Destroyer of Worlds, does. So right here, I just stay in and go for a Toxic as it goes for Rock Slide, predicting Landorus, which didn't really have a point because I kind of clean up from here. Now, I was wondering if Landorus could OHKO this thing from 79%. I was really thinking about it because if he had Ice Fang, he probably could have won this game either way, but Earth Power just OHKOs from there, which is ridiculous. And right here, he kind of is a dick and goes for Protect on the last turn of the game, which I hate people who do that, so never do that, please. And then I'm like, oh, might as well just Sludge Wave because this guy's being a dick. And that's what I do. And the game's over. So, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you like these post-coms. I actually like doing this one. This one is pretty cool. Sub to Swagglif. He's a cool guy. Like, comment, whatever. Do it. Yeah. Peace out, guys.